On May 19th, 1780, an eerie and terrifying event took place across New England. What started as a normal spring morning quickly turned into a day of darkness, confusion, and fear. People who woke up to clear skies soon found themselves in an unnatural night, one that lasted for hours. The event, now known as New England's Dark Day, remains one of the most mysterious phenomena in American history. It began with an unusual red-tinted sunrise, almost as if the sky itself was bleeding. Farmers heading out to their fields noticed that the sunlight had a strange, dim quality. By mid-morning, an ominous haze covered the sky, making it harder to see. But what came next was even more shocking. By noon, the entire region was plunged into complete darkness. It was as dark as midnight, even though the sun should have been shining directly overhead. The sudden blackness was so intense that people could not see their hands in front of their faces. Candles were lit in homes, businesses, and even streets. Birds stopped singing. Farm animals, confused by the sudden disappearance of daylight, returned to their barns and lay down as if it were nighttime. Panic quickly spread through the towns and villages of New England. Some people believed the world was coming to an end. In churches, ministers held emergency sermons, urging their congregations to repent before what they believed was Judgment Day. Some residents fell to their knees in prayer, while others ran into the streets, shouting in confusion and terror. Even the educated elite of the time were left speechless. Scientists, politicians, and intellectuals, including Benjamin Franklin, struggled to explain what was happening. It was not an eclipse. Astronomers confirmed that no such event was scheduled for that day. It was not a storm. There was no thunder or rain. Could it have been divine punishment? Many feared so. For nearly 24 hours, the darkness persisted, covering New England and parts of Canada in an unnatural gloom. At night, the darkness was even worse than usual. The moon was barely visible and the sky was completely black. Some reports even described a strange, smoky smell in the air, as if fires were burning somewhere far away. When daylight finally returned on May 20th, relief spread across the region, but the event left behind countless questions. What had caused such an unnatural phenomenon? Modern scientists now believe the mystery can be explained by a massive forest fire in Canada. The fire, likely burning hundreds of miles away, produced thick smoke that mixed with fog and unusual weather conditions. This created an impenetrable layer in the atmosphere that blocked sunlight across a vast area. Historical records mention that water in some wells had turned dark due to falling ash, further supporting this theory. Despite having a scientific explanation today, the dark day of 1780 remains a haunting reminder of how little people understood about natural disasters in the past. Back then, with no modern meteorology or satellites, an event like this could only be seen as an omen or punishment from a higher power. Could it happen again? Yes. A large enough wildfire, volcanic eruption, or extreme weather event could once again create a day of darkness. But today, with advanced science and communication, we would likely respond with knowledge rather than fear. The question is, how would we feel if we woke up one morning and the sun simply disappeared?